Well, hello everyone. My name is CB Smallwood, and you're about to learn some interesting things. And for those of you that don't know me, I am the creator of such titles and characters such as Wildcat, also Monster Patrol, and getting ready to do like a reboot, relaunch, and my take on the public domain character Super American. And I apologize if you can't really, make out these and see them up and close, but we just have to make do. So today's video is entitled "Drawing People in Perspective: The Jack Kirby Way." Now I'm going to get me a quick sip of water before we get started. All right. So what I'm going to do is show you basically what I feel is like something that Jack Kirby does a lot throughout his career. And also, you'll, on your own, after you see what it is I'm getting ready to show you, you should be able to see the same method being used by people like Rob Liefeld and Jim Lee and many other artists in the 90s. And heck, there's probably artists in the in the 10s and the 20s and getting close to the 30s now that will use this technique. Well, we'll see. First of all, let's talk about drawing characters in perspective. And I want to show you this example. Now, I can't remember from what book this page comes from. It's a well-known book on perspective, quite old, but still holds up quite well. As you can see here, in this top example, this is an example of the low horizon. So we've got, if I can borrow this line here, let me reduce the size of this, don't need it humongous. This right here is the horizon line, okay? And that horizon line is going through all the knees of all these characters, going through all the knees of these people, right? Again, here is another example. This is the mid-horizon line. And again, so you can see for clarity, this is going through their chest. Now, of course, a lot of you can see and read clearly on your own, but I'm just saying, just pointing it out. The third example is we got a high horizon line, and this one is, well, shoot, I can't do nothing like that. This one is going on the top of the head. So all these characters, all these people, they're in perspective going from the top of the head. Now, of course, there's these other things going on here that, helps make it in perspective. We got this line here. We got this line here and this line up above their head. But you get the idea. Now, there's several other ways to do this, in my opinion. But these three approaches are pretty much the three common. I've also seen it where the mid-horizon line can go through the hips or through the stomach. But you get the rough gist of it. So this is the three popular ways. Now what I would like to do is I'm going to show you Jack Kirby's art here. I'm going to show you quite a bit of Jack Kirby's art. This first piece was, when I saw it, my mind exploded because it is so simple, but at the same time it's very organic. It doesn't follow the typical horizon line formula, and you can come up with a lot of different interesting combinations with it. And I'm not seeing anybody else explain this, but I'm going to attempt to today. And again, I apologize if I'm not being very clear. I'm kind of sick. So, can you notice, without me telling you, where, how are these characters in perspective? All right. I'll go ahead and answer that for you for the sake of speed. We've got clearly a line going down this way, suggesting that this is kind of how it's going. But there's a little bit more to it than that. I want you to pay attention to this. We've got Reed Richards' eyes, and then we've got the top of Sue Richards' head going to his eye line. Now check this out. Sue Richards' eyes, and then we got Ben Grimm's top of his head to the top of her eyes. And then, check this out. We got, the Thing, Ben Grimm. We got his eyes. Goes to the top of Johnny Storm's head. Going further, we've got Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. His eyes are going to the top of, I think her name is Crystal. Forgive me if I got that wrong. So the Crystal's head. Isn't that killer? Isn't it interesting? And then, the route that he chose to go with this is basically a straight line going down. And when I saw this, my mind exploded. It's like, oh, wow. And so I started looking at a lot of other Jack Kirby work to see if I could see that in other things. So let's take a look at another page. Now, this is getting quite advanced here, granted. But this is a good example to show you of all the different ways you can go about it. Now, he uses the same method, but he also does a thing I like to call the odd man out. So, using the head, the top of somebody's head going to somebody's eyes, and also introducing the odd man out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, let me see here. We've got, let me zoom in just a little bit here. We've got this guy right here, top of his head. Sorry, I'm not drawing a straight line. It goes to her eyes. Let me just use this. It'll be easier. We got the top of her head going to his eyes. Now, roughly, this isn't quite the same, but I'm going to cheat and say it anyway. We got the top of Thing's head going to the Human Torch's eyes. And just as I said before, now we've got this one guy right here, and this is the odd man out. Okay? So as you can see, with all these arrows I did, top of his head to her eyes. This isn't a good example right here, but that's okay. We got the top of her head to Reed Richards' eyes, and then we got the top of Thing's head to Johnny's eyes, and then we've got the odd man out. So you'll see that sometimes. All right. Let me get rid of all this. I think I got it all. Let me check. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Example number 4. Again, we've got another thing where, we've got this kind of flow going down this way, right? So let's take a look. Now, this isn't the best example. We've got, let me get this going. The top of Johnny's head going to her eyes. Why did it do that? There we go. And we've got the top of his head also going to Reed Richards' eyes. Okay, and then we got the top of Sue's head going to Ben Grimm's eyes. So I know that's kind of confusing. But he doesn't always go in a straight line with it. So sometimes you can have characters that are in the background mixing with the characters in the foreground. Let me show you again, okay? Let me reduce the size of this just a little bit. The top of his head going to her eyes, right? And then we've also got the top of Sue's head going to his eyes. And then look. Reed Richards. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. I'll just circle him. There we go. But we got Reed Richards, and he's roughly the odd man out. Okay? Does this make sense? Does it, or am I just a crazy person? Let's take a look at example number 5. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's take a look. You know, now this one's not a quite the best example, but we'll see. The top of Reed Richards' head goes to Sue Storm, or Sue Richards' eyes. And I think her name's Crystal again. Could be wrong. Top of her head goes to Johnny's eyes. So isn't that kind of neat how that works? You've got you know, kind of a flow going this way and kind of flow going the opposite direction. So I think that's very neat. Okay, let's see, what example was this? Is this number 4? Nope, that's number 5. Number 6. And we need to make this line just a little thicker. Okay, let's try this again. See if this still holds true. All right, so we've got the top of Ben Grimm's head going to Reed Richards' eyes. Okay. And then we got the top of Johnny's head going to Thing's eyes. And now we've got the odd man out, which is this girl right here. You see that? So sometimes, you know, you can do this top of the head to the eyes trick, and then to change things up, you can put the odd man out. Sometimes in the foreground, sometimes in the background, but pretty cool. Let's see. Example number 7. All right, now we're getting complex again. Let's see. It's not real easy to see where he's done this trick here and there, but we'll try. We got the top of his head. Shoot. Let me just use this tool. Got the top of his head going to his eyes. And we've got... I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to say the top of her head to his eyes. And we've got at least one man, the odd man out here again. And this girl here, she's sort of an odd man out herself. It depends, you know. You could also say that that basically, roughly, if you cut off the top of her head just a little bit, it still goes to his eyes too, you know. And I think I have one more example to show you, okay? All right. So let's take a look at this. All right. We've got the top of Sue's head going to Reed's eyes. If I can get this thing to work. Is it working? Nope. I'll just create a new layer. There we go. All right. So we got the top of her head going to his eyes. And we also have the top of Ben Grimm's head going to Reed Richards' eyes. And then the odd man out, you could say is Johnny. But check this out. The top of Johnny's head goes to Reed Richards' eyes. So you got these three figures here, and basically all the tops of their heads roughly go to Reed Richards' eyes. Now, not quite. Thing's not the best example, but you can sort of see it. And one of the ways he does it is, you know, he reduces the to make things look in perspective, you know, he reduces the size of Johnny here, and she's slightly bigger, and then Thing is pretty much side by side with Reed here, and he's kind of leaning into the frame. So I hope I've done a good job of kind of showing you what this Jack Kirby perspective method is. You know, when I first found it, when I saw this picture, it kind of blew my mind, and I thought it was a neat trick, and I'm going to use that in the comics that I draw and work on. And maybe you found this helpful too. But regardless, thank you for tuning into this video. I hope that you found it very helpful. If you did, please like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'm on YouTube and on Odyssey. Odyssey is awesome. And I appreciate all the love and all the help. And if there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. If it's within reason, I'll try to help you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, or just any comments in general. And as always, you know, if I can't answer your questions, I'm sure someone else will be helpful and be able to help you out. As always, please remember to be the tide that rises all ships, to be the change that you want to see, you know. And if I believe if you have righteousness on your side, then mighty forces will come to your aid. And carpe diem, my friends. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.